Okay, I have made a OneNote itinerary for my fictitious boss for a fictitious trip to Mexico. And this is the first itinerary, and you can see the tab here's itinerary, April 19th to 25th. She will be picked up at 4:30 a.m. at her home by me. Her flight is at 7 a.m., flight number 3553 on Delta. She will have a layover in Los Angeles, an hour and 24-minute layover, and then she'll depart Los Angeles at 11:15 a.m., arriving Mexico City at 4:45 p.m. When she arrives there, she'll have a car waiting for her that'll take her to the hotel. Now that information is in another tab in transportation. So Monday she gets up 8 a.m. For her first meeting. Her first meeting's at 8 a.m. She needs to get up before then. And then she has another meeting at 1 p.m. And then it shows Thursday what her day is like. It shows Wednesday what her day is like. Thursday she has off. Friday, April 24th, she has 2 meetings. And Saturday there is a cocktail party at Senor Bucos Mansion. Okay, next itinerary. On Sunday, April 26th, she needs to be at the airport, and this again, the transportation, how she gets there is under transportation. Her flight is 11 a.m. Aeromexico flight 220, nonstop. You can also see that all the details of what's, nonstop. Wi-Fi is on that plane. Again, her schedule, 8:30 a.m. is her first meeting. 1 p.m. is her next meeting on that Monday. Tuesday, you can see here her different meetings. Wednesday, she has it for free. And Thursday, she has a meeting. Well, actually, it's a cocktail party, mandatory. Friday, May 1st, 10 a.m. and a 6 p.m. And then Saturday, she leaves at 9:26 a.m. She departs Delta Flight 9001 to Salt Lake City Airport, where she has a 3-hour layover. And then she departs Salt Lake City, Flight 3522 at 3:20 p.m. and arrives in Spokane at 4:05 p.m. Over here at transportation, you will see these are the different ways she is moving from one spot to another. This is April 19th, and it says the morning of April 19th at 4:30 a.m. I will pick you up at your home to take you to the airport. And there's details here about getting to the airport and how much time she has before her flight. When she gets to Mexico City, you see it says from airport. When you arrive in Mexico City, there will be a hired driver from your hotel waiting to transport you. It literally tells her the driver will have a sign with her name on it. To and from meetings while she's in Mexico City. She is going to take a taxi from her hotel that her hotel will set up for her. That's the safest way to travel. Coming back to her hotel, or if she wants to go to a restaurant during the day, she will be calling this phone number on her own to set up travel. This is the safest way to do it in Mexico City. So she's covered completely for her trip to Mexico City. Back to the airport, she needs to arrange a ride from the hotel again. When she's in Guadalajara, from the airport, after landing in Guadalajara, you will need to take an airport taxi to the hotel. There is a cost for this, and it says right here that that's how much it is. To and from meetings. When traveling to and from meetings, you will be using taxis. The hotel will arrange each ride from the hotel. Please refer to your itinerary to see what time you will need to arrange a ride. That's important. This again is a telephone number for the local company in Guadalajara that she will be using to get back to her hotel. And here's how she gets to the airport in Mexico. Arrange a ride to the... Oh, that's supposed to say Guadalajara. I will change that right now. To the... So when she needs to arrange a ride to the airport, she needs to arrange it the night before with the hotel. So that's why it's on this page. But you will see on May 2nd, you have the same thing here, back to the airport, repeated from the previous page. And this tells her when she should actually leave in the morning for her flight. It also reminds her, and it does this several times throughout the papers, please keep all taxi receipts in order to be reimbursed. Arrival at Spokane International Airport. I will pick you up at the Spokane International Airport when you arrive. I will be waiting at baggage pickup. I will drive you home. Everything's covered. Now we'll go to miscellaneous. You will not need to bring an electrical adapter because everything is going to plug in just fine while you're in Mexico, so you don't have to worry about that. During your visit in Mexico, both cities will be 1 hour ahead of the local time in Spokane. That's because we're in a different time zone. There are no required vaccines for your travel to Mexico. It is recommended that while in Mexico, you should avoid eating raw food, only drink bottled water, and that's quite important. There are no special holidays in Mexico during the stay. The boss will not be there during any of the national holidays of Mexico. The currency used in Mexico is the peso, and this is the current exchange rate for the peso. And it says that the office will supply her with some travel money, but she'll also have to bring a card for some credit card payments. Again, she needs to keep her receipts. Still under miscellaneous, local culture information. Hola is an appropriate greeting for hello. Handshakes are also accepted greeting. When you're introduced, you address the people in the following manner. It shows you right here how she's supposed to address them. Business cards are not always used in the meeting settings, but it's a good idea to have your cards with you. So she definitely needs to have those. And then cards are usually exchanged at the end of a meeting. Gifts are not expected, but if you bring a gift, do not bring in an expensive one. And same goes as if you are going to receive a gift, you may or may not, it will be probably something small from something made locally from their town. The work practices in both cities are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. for business work hours. Expect to have extra long lunch breaks. That's just what they do. That's their culture. You should always be on time for your meetings. However, the business person in Mexico may be 30 minutes late, and that is considered acceptable, not rude. So if they show up late to a meeting, don't think them rude, but you make sure you're on time. Do not stand with your hands on your hips. It will come off as aggressive. And that is just something to think of having to do with etiquette of their culture and how they are with business. Kind of a non-verbal communication thing to not do. But verbal communication, it is okay to do light personal questions of your host before the meeting gets underway. And then next under miscellaneous is local information. The international country and city telephone code is 52. The average weather in Mexico City will be 50 to 75, and in Guadalajara, 50 to 82. This here is her itinerary for her air travel, and we already went through the air travel in the itinerary, so I'm not going to go over the times again, but it's all right here. It talks about the layovers, what the flights have on them. There's also a map of the airport that she is leaving from. This here is the Spokane International Airport, and if you click on that, it brings you to their webpage. And I have that set up for all of the airports. This is the Mexico City to Guadalajara flights, and that is the airport in Mexico City, and then Guadalajara to Spokane. Again, you have all the information, but I went through that in detail in the itinerary. And you have the map of the airport. And again, you got the link to the web page. The hotels. Okay, here you have the link to the hotel that you're going to be staying at. Wait for that to open. Here is the website to the Mexico City Marriott Reforma Hotel. All the information she will need is on here. Everything, restaurants, room service, what's around. And then you also have this page here that gives you snippets of that. Guadalajara's hotel, and again, you have the website to go to. And here's the information, the address, the telephone number, and here's a snippet of that information too, as well as the prices is shown, but she doesn't need to worry about that because she's not paying for this trip. Okay, general travel information. She needs a passport. She has to bring her passport. You will be given a prepaid visa for your trip. Any cash payments made, like taxi rides, please keep your receipt and turn them in when you return. For your safety, please only use the taxi services that I have provided in her itinerary, and that I went over it with detail. The national language in Mexico is Spanish. The majority of people she will be meeting with also speak English, but it is a nice thing to do to learn some of their words so that they're not only extending to you, you can extend to them. And here is how you address people. Señor, Mr., Señora, Mrs., Señorita, Miss. Very important to know where the embassies are. Here we have the Consulate General in Guadalajara. They don't actually have an embassy, but they have the consulate. And here's the Embassy of the United States of America in Mexico City. So that's all covered there. The last tab is miscellaneous. Things to do in Mexico City. Again, I went with links so that she can completely choose what she wants to do. And here's the link that opens for things to do in Mexico City, and she can just choose from any of these different activities if she would like. And then we have where to eat in Mexico City. Here we have a whole list of restaurants that are near her hotel, and just generally around the city of Mexico City. Things to do in Guadalajara. Again, while in Guadalajara, where to eat in Guadalajara. Again, it gives her a list of different activities and tourism, tourist things that she can look into. And where to eat in Guadalajara. Lists of beautiful restaurants she can try. Maybe meet some people at the convention and go to lunch or dinner with them also. So that wraps it up. We have done it all. The itinerary, the transportation, miscellaneous, air travel, hotel, general travel information, and explore the city. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.